Hello everyone, I'm Forrest McFreelava, and this is episode 6 of the Atlantis Survival Challenge in Cities Skylines. We left off having just completed our bus routes. I went ahead and added several in the time between the videos and added little exit areas at the back of these neighborhoods. So basically the idea with these bus routes is it'll take people from their homes to the commercial and or industrial areas, back to the commercial areas, and back to their homes. And they're all just done in loops with the occasional north-south route, bringing people up and down the various commercial areas and to the colleges and high schools and all of that. So ideally that'll cut down on traffic to a considerable degree. Yeah, we will find out though if it actually works to that effect. Let's go ahead and exit out of all those menus. Meanwhile, trains are so far being a pretty successful addition to the city. I'm pretty happy that we are getting a pretty decent flow out of the city. We do still have a little bit of an issue with people merging and only wanting to use the middle lane, but it looks like around here that breaks up and people actually start going into different lanes and trying to do different things. It still slows down traffic quite a bit, but what are you gonna do? And yeah, that traffic jam is just a flowing traffic jam all the way back to the end of the universe. And I really have no idea what to do to resolve that. Just, really, yeah. We gave these people so many different, anything, really, so much different everything. And they don't seem to really care. If we upgraded this, would that help? Space already occupied. Well, we can't then. Oh well, at any rate, that seems to be the big thing slowing us down. I'm almost tempted to just try to make a second layer, but who's really to say? You know what we could do is build a residential, or not a residential, but a, yeah, I guess residential. What is it actually called? Just a train station, just a regular old train station for regular old trains, and let people come into the city via that route. It still costs 45k, but we are making almost 20 now. The water level is still rising. All of those have been buried, so that's not great. Well, not really buried, but flooded. Nevertheless. And we are starting to fill out all of our residential zones. You'll notice the zoning demand is starting to pick up a little bit. We'll go ahead and de-zone that guy. And we'll do it one at a time, just de-zoning and rezoning things. Education-wise, we are starting to fall significantly below. So let's see, we'll add a few more of these. This will slow down our expansion a little bit, but that's okay, we do need this. I'll get us up to 3,000 capacity, 3,300. As we build this area filled with high density areas, we will really need to upgrade. Not enough money. Sweet. Yeah, and we'll probably build another one over here, since we only have, what, like 5, and we have just a ton over in this area. Okay, so that should get us to at least cover that. We are still pretty much on the edge. We'll take a look at our budget. Let's see. We should have some policies we can enact. Education boost. It would make, okay, boost the education budget and make your adults automatically choose education over working. We already have an issue getting people into work, so that might not be the best idea. So yeah, instead of that for the moment, we will just go ahead and build a few more buildings. And that is going to lower our budget a ways, but hopefully not to any devastating degree. Alright, so that should, well, it won't even really future-proof us, but it gets us more or less to the level we already need. Oh, and of course now we're running out of all sorts of things. Do those take just a ton of power? What's the deal? 480 kilowatt hours. I wouldn't have thought that that would be such an issue. Go ahead and take some loans. Because really there's no excuse for not. Okay, so this will give us 120 megawatts for 50k. This will give us 112 to 160 for 80k, but a significantly lower upkeep. So that lower upkeep will be the deciding factor. Go ahead and just slide that down right there. Now we need to worry about water. And of course that cut that off. This route is connected though, so we will still double it up because that is very important. And yeah, we'll just keep throwing more of these pumps here and hope that it never, you know, becomes some sort of horrible issue that floods the whole city. So I'm not actually sure how much that will be able to hold, but I guess we have one way of finding it out. Not that we really want to, but yeah, eventually we might get to the point where there's just too much sewage water and it starts to overfill and just flood the area with just nasty, awful stuff. So ideally we will avoid that. Alright, meanwhile we have just an absolute terrible influx of people moving in. Probably not made any better by the fact that we're really educating people and giving them good services, which is just bringing more people into the city. We do need to build 2 new high schools to really keep up. Until then, though, let's go ahead and build more of these commercial areas. It looks like any type will do. Alright, because we are falling behind on commercial. Looks like this area hasn't filled in with residential, so we don't really need to worry too much about that at the moment. Oh, and that's cool. We can see if trains are actually going and coming through this one area that does just go across the lake. And it does seem like they are. So eventually we do need to build, and by eventually we really shouldn't put it off. We will go ahead and build a new residential, not residential, just a regular train station. A default train station even. So we'll wait for the money to do that, and our income is going up fairly consistently. I might even just buy these areas so we can carry the society out to the very ends, although that might be a little excessive. Although we do already have all of this land. Really just having convenient real estate seems to be better than almost anything else at the moment. At any rate, train station. This is probably the most important thing we could be building. Just because it seems that we have a pretty tremendous need for it. Alright, so there we go. Hopefully we will get a good deal of passenger trains coming in. We can go ahead and upgrade these. It might be a good idea to build some bus stops in the area. Slope too steep for a road? Huh. That could be an issue. Just give me a road, man. Too steep still. Hopefully we will be able to rebuild the dirt road, worst case. Wow. Oh no. Okay. There we go. Sorry that upset everybody, but oh, and that just totally destroyed their homes. Oh, it destroyed all of those homes. Well, congrats guys, you are the next high density area. So, sorry about that. And hopefully all these trains will start to alleviate the inflow of regular, you know, just regular cars. But man, that is getting backed up. Bus stops, that's what we need. Create some new lines. You know, yeah, we will have it go in the reverse direction of the others. Actually, no, we won't. This way everyone can just kind of get to where they need to go, hopefully without being too messed up by it. And we're going to try to land them on existing bus stops, just so that they can get onto other lines. And there we go. Kind of mediocre, but hopefully it'll do its job. We still do have all those loans. Let's see, fire safety is doing poorly. Death stuff's doing fine. Health stuff's doing not as fine. Police, doing great. Absolutely tremendous job. Add yet another elementary school. And we need at least 2 high schools. But man, are they expensive. And of course we're building them where they're going to be the first things to sink. So that's not ideal. I might just take another, really the fat loan that we can still get. You know, I'm just gonna do it. Time is of the essence. We need to get an educated workforce. Do all those fancy things. If we build one here, that'll future-proof us a little bit. And we'll build one just down there. We should also probably build a new fire department, seeing as everything's burning down. This guy seems like he'll have a pretty decent range. Yeah, look at that. That actually did amazingly well. We could still add some of these small firehouses, but I really don't think they're worth the money. They don't seem to actually make it better. Oh man, these guys are also in a desperate need of some Japanese gardens. So we'll start just pumping those into the region. Really just flood it with Japanese gardens. Some people are unfortunately slightly Japanese garden deprived. Yet in this day and age, that's not the worst. Slope too steep. You know, I shouldn't be surprised by that. It's been complaining for quite a while about that. And we will destroy this dude's home to replace it with another garden. Alright, so cool. Thanks for the loans, world. Sorry we spent it on, admittedly, gardens and schools, which I'm not really, you know, schools is a pretty solid investment you kind of got to make. Japanese gardens, I guess, is more arguable, more debatable. We're now a capital city. We can build a cargo harbor and a regular harbor. This map does not actually have a sea access, so no real need to worry about that. In the version 2, which is supposed to be markedly harder, or markedly more difficult, it is supposed to have that sort of thing. Harbor access, and also just supposed to basically kill you. Let's pay off some of these loans. We still have that big 200k guy. We'll deal with that eventually. Getting pretty full on this whole landfill thing. And there's a lot of demand for a lot of stuff. I'm tempted to just start building incineration plants, but they have a really high upkeep, whereas these are basically 0 upkeep. Okay, let's just start making some bad decisions. And this might totally screw us over in the long run. But slope too steep. Totally unfortunate. If we buy that area, we can just start putting all the garbage into there. So let's purchase this guy. And we will do that. Plus, this is far enough out that I don't actually think we will need it. Slope too steep, come on. Okay. That's somewhat functional. There we go. Weird. But functional, so go us. Go us to the moon. We'll just leave it like that, whatever. Run this dude far out to sea. Slope too steep. There we go. Build a couple of these bad boys. That should do it. Let's see. Let's start... Well, we will start emptying this guy. Hopefully people start to use this. And other than that, we will just kind of let things play. Since we did just purchase that one, we may as well purchase this. And yeah, it looks like we still have a bunch of tiles we can purchase, so we are more or less good to go. The big plot to just kind of expand the city over here is now good to go, and it will be the go-to plot. So I worry that running everything down that one highway is basically the cause for all of our problems. But I also worry that there's not really an alternative. So, kind of caught on that one. At any rate, that's pretty good. We could actually probably risk spanning this guy out. That's still a pretty decent elevation. It gets kind of weird over here, but that's a pretty good high spot. I'm not going to build anything that we can't remove over there. So yeah, that's all good. We spent all of our money, so sweet. The unfortunate thing is we still do need to build these water routes before we can get anything done. Pipelines, I guess, is a good term for that. Probably a fairly common term for that. Alright, so we got all that set up. Throw in... Looks like we have a higher demand for this dark blue, high-density commercial stuff. Get that constructed, get all these guys constructed. Bam, 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 bam. That's kind of awful. Whatever. Well, yeah, no, that's really bad. Slightly better than nothing, hopefully. And people are already filling it in, so there are worse things. And then this kind of messes us up, but it's okay. We'll work around it. And we can actually expand this area out as well. Once again, we're just going to use the super cheap road. And I think this is actually really good stuff for our city. Like, you know, provided people can actually use these highways, which, God knows, is just a tremendous problem we're facing. Like, why? Why are there so many of these? What are you doing? You're going to the Oak residence? Why? Where are you coming from? Why are you going on this giant circuitous route? I don't understand. Are you people all moving in? University student at university driving home. Where are you from? Okay, where are you people going? Your van exporting. You're exporting. Okay, as long as everyone leaving is actively exporting and not doing some really dumb stuff, then these are all people moving into the city. And yet none of them want to take this little side exit, because I guess they all think that it's, well, it probably is more efficient to just go over here. Okay, so how do we resolve this? How do we make this less of just an awful disaster of a road? Because this is really the ultimate problem we're facing at the moment. First step, let's raise this guy up. Is this enough to cross? It is. Wonderful. Okay, so two things. Thing one, big old left-hand bend. Thing two, big old right-hand bend. So this highway, we're gonna take on some awful careening path around the backside of the city. Really? Okay. I guess I shouldn't be shocked by that. Good thing we doubled up. Yeah, out of money. Okay. Well, we'll get there. We're making bank. We will try to not destroy any infrastructure if we can avoid it. We're also going to try to have the smallest footprint we possibly can for this. Speed things up a little, get some money back. You know, in fact, bam, loan. Why are we taking a loan for this? Because it's much quicker than just waiting for basically the rest of our civilization. Just the rest of history. Okay, can we just drop this down? Yeah, it makes it much cheaper, and at this point we kind of need that. You know, infinite loan money aside. And yeah, we'll just run this down the back. Hopefully new people will all just kind of move into it. Or move into our society using this big old highway behind the way. Yeah, we'll leave it. Whatever. Alright. Oh, come on. There. Alright, now we'll just build a ton of exits. We won't really worry too much about entrances, because, you know, why bother? And hopefully these guys, when they move into the city, will use this route instead of some sort of ridiculous, super busy area. That clearly isn't a good idea. I'll be really, really unhappy if for all of this expense they just totally don't use it at all. But honestly, I'm not the best in the world at this game, so if they do that, I can't be entirely surprised. Come on, people, literally at all. Some of you just use this. Anyone. If no one uses this, that'll suck so much. Okay, okay, we are getting some cars. People are splitting into 2 lanes. Okay. Alright. You know, maybe it isn't the ultimate solution, but it does appear to be at least alleviating some of that. Oh, and people are using this. Passenger service is 0. I just saw a ton of cars leaving, but I guess that was this week and last week, so maybe that doesn't count into the arithmetic. I'm not sure. Cemetery needed, really. Looks like you guys are doing perfectly fine with that. But we will go ahead and build you guys a cemetery. Not here, though, because, you know, you guys seem to hate it. But right there, that's good. Alright, and we are getting people all flooded into here with a so far ignored lack of Japanese gardens. You know, at some point I should probably mix this up a little. Especially now that they have public transit and they can, you know, get out of their home neighborhood and be like, oh, I wonder what kind of crazy stuff they have in the rest of the city. Oh, just the same Japanese garden every block. Oh. can imagine that would make things seem a little less than superb. Let's go ahead and add some more of this high density stuff. Get one of these guys. You do all have water, that's pretty cool. Alright, so this is all filling in. A renegade group of archaeologists. Okay. Well, what does it say? Discovered that the pyramids are indeed landing platforms for spaceships. Neat. Oh, and it's 25 minutes in, so we're gonna go ahead and call it an end to one of these quicker episodes. The water levels are rising, but not too badly compared to where we last left off. We've still got about 80 extra